Okay, this is Jacob Schmidt with DeerHuntingSchool.com. I'm going to show you an awesome website for looking at your weather um, and things like that for hunting and deer hunting. And the website is wunderground.com. You see it up here in the top. There's a bunch of other stuff, but you don't need that. You just need the wunderground.com, which is WUNDERGROUND.com. Okay, that is a very good website for looking at the weather, future, past, present, and history weather. If you want to, you can look way back with this and see what the weather was doing. It's a great tool. It's a very valuable resource to the hunter. First thing you can also, one thing that's really cool is you can actually pick a different location. This one just comes up for the closest one that comes up to my house, I guess, and it pulls that, which I don't know why. There's closer ones than this to where I live. But anyways, you can change weather stations. You can look at weather in out of states, in this area here. You can see the current weather that's going on here. It's great detail, tells about everything. And then you can go down here and you can look, in a 10-day forecast. And I'm particularly looking I'm shooting this video on September the 23rd in 2014, and I'm actually looking at this weekend that's coming up, which is the 27th and the 28th, because that's our opening weekend of bow season. Okay, I can see the basic stuff, the highs and the lows, what kind of cloud conditions we're going to have, if there's chances of rain or whatever. But then down here I can see, the forecasted amount of rain, precipitation, or whatever. I can see, a quarterly temperature chart or forecast anyways. I can see the forecasted barometer, what the barometric pressures, the forecast. And I say forecast because this stuff is very likely to change, and I can almost guarantee you this stuff is going to change at least a little bit. Okay, but I see the forecasted barometric pressure, but this still, gives me enough to where I can start laying out a plan. Because one thing for sure, there are a handful of things that dictates, the spot or the area I'm going to be hunting, the stand location I'm going to be hunting. There's a few things that dictates that. And one of them things that is always within them few things is the weather, what the weather is doing. And it's not just the wind, it's the temperature, the barometric pressure. Is there a front coming? Is there a front moving out? And are we in the middle of a front? I mean, what is going on in these deer's life? Because they can't get away from the weather. They have to stay in it, live in it, and still have to survive. They still have to eat, sleep, have cover. They still have to have all their necessities while this front's going on, no matter what. And what is going on, and the weather dictates all of this, no matter what. The weather is always on my mind when I'm thinking about where I'm hunting. Okay, it gives me a quarterly or the forecasted wind direction for several hours throughout the day. And then one thing that's really cool is I can go back here down in this almanac area. You just keep on going down. I can click the almanac area, and I can actually go back here, and I can in this click on these and pick different dates and see what the weather was doing on an hourly basis, for a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, 10 years ago, a decade ago. Well, that's just said 10 years. 2 decades ago, plumb back, to 1918. Okay, I can see what the weather was doing, way back whenever on a particular day, and see what was going on. So, I can look a week ago or whatever, like I said, and I could come down. Now, maybe when you get really far back, it may not give as great a detail, but you see here, it actually gives an hourly weather history and observations, what was going on by the hour. And you'll have to click a good weather station that has all this, that's as close as you can get to your hunting location. And you just do that by view current level in, this area. You click it and you can change it here. Okay. So I can, and you can see, I could have went back a year ago and seen this, which this isn't a full day because it's today and the day's not over. But, if I went back to yesterday, it'd give me the entire 24 hours, and I get an hourly weather report. What the temperature was, what the dew point was, what the humidity was, what the pressure was, the visibility, the wind direction, and the wind speed. Okay, if was there any precipitation, what cloud conditions what we are. Also gives gust speeds and events. I'm not sure, but anyways, you can definitely see, and it even gives you a little graphs here of what was going on. You can definitely see that this was a great resource. If I were going to, if I was studying up on a buck and see what kind of habits he had in his movement patterns and stuff, I could go back a year ago and look and see when he was in an area, what the weather was, go back, different times and look, and just the possibilities are endless with this. And then you may be watching this and thinking, well, I don't know how to use the weather at all. And I've got a course that I'm fixing to come out here with here really soon on hunting the weather and how deer will generally react and get your mind really going. At least it's going to be a good enough course to where once you get done with the course, it will be good enough that you can have a pretty good grasp on how the weather can affect deer movement and stand locations and stuff like that. So just look for that course on deerhuntingschool.com because it may already be up if you're watching this video, but as I'm making this video, it's not up. I've got it together. I just need to work it out and get the final things done and get it up and live where it can be purchased. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video here. Like I said, check out this website, bookmark it. It's wunderground.com, and it's a very valuable resource for the hunter because, like I said, weather is always, or it should at least be in a factor in where you're hunting and in planning your hunts. Because not just the fact that the weather could get very serious and dangerous, but it's going to have an effect on how the white-tailed deer move. As far as that goes, it's going to have an effect on any game animal that you're hunting. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. This is Jacob Schmidt with deerhuntingschool.com. Check out deerhuntingschool.com for more tips, information, things like that on deer hunting. Have a good day. Bye-bye.